Alright, Xfunk Carter here, and I'm going to explore a number of various fill lighting options. What I've done is I've grouped all these lights and I've set them to an outer angle of 45, and I've made them a lot hotter now. They're 1,000 strength, and let's render it and see what it looks like.
I'm ready to get it on.
This is the basic level with just the existing key lights and no fill lighting. This is what it looks like. The environment projected texture is providing some nice fill here, but over here it's totally black. And here I can't see anything at all, so I've got to fix these corners somehow. Let's try adding what would be called a practical light in the movie business. Basically, I'm planting this generator here, and I'm giving it an orange light, like a bright orange. Let's make it 200, and it's quadratic, but anyway, along with a sprite of the same color. Let's make that sprite 0.5, which doubles its size. Anyway, so I'm going to add that to brighten this pool. Now for this pool, let me try something else. Let me try this. It's just a single, it's a disembodied light. It's got a strength of 50. It's a linear fall off. So it'll be a soft light in this corner here. And the rest of the lighting I'll leave alone. And over here, this generator is throwing some light. I've deliberately chosen the color orange. I could have made it red or green. The only thing is, red and green lights are they tend to indicate to the player that there's something they have to do, like there's a switch they have to find, that sort of thing. So by making it orange, I hope they believe it's just a neutral light. I'm using it to fill this black pool here. And over here, this disembodied Omni Light is throwing a nice light on this prop. You can see this prop basically to the level that I'd like you to see it. If you look closely though, you can also sense that there is an outline to this light. Most players though probably won't be looking that closely, but it's just something to take into consideration. I'm going to try a few other methods of doing fill light. I'm going to keep the generator light there, but I'm going to turn off that lone Omni Light right here. I'm going to try something else. That light directional overhead. I've basically cut up the skybox and I've converted these side brushes. I've just textured them with the skybox texture. Light directional emits its light. It's basically like a second light environment. It's designed to be used with a light environment, specifically to provide shadow fill light. Anyway, you can use it this way. Over an interior level that doesn't have a ceiling, this can be kind of implied ambient light. When I set this thing up, first thing is I just aimed it down. Use that thing. That means the light direction is now aiming. There's going to be even light cast from all of the skybox texture straight down. The light color, I had copied and pasted the color here. I just have it set to a brightness of 25, so that's going to provide an even 25 fill all throughout this level now. Okay. See, now the light directional is throwing some light into these dark pools. Anywhere there's darkness, there's a nice even 25 level of lighting. So, you know, this is actually a really good solution to this whole problem. See, it's lighting that quite nicely. The only thing is, it deprives me of the ability to use sunlight because it's emitted. I'll show you what I mean in a bit. I'll show you another option. This is a good option to use to provide fill. Only thing is, it doesn't work in all cases. So I'm going to turn this off. And I'm going to turn on the ceiling here. This thing here, he's in my outtakes. I'm taking him out. I want this to throw a grill effect down on my level. So if I'm relying on that light directional to provide fill light, I can't bring in this light environment here. Take that guy out of the outtakes. I want this to slant in kind of. I'm going to aim it here. Where am I looking at? Yeah, I want it there. So direction, point at. This entity isn't the emission point, it's just a convenient entity inside the game world. So you can use it as a 0 point right there. Let's see what that looks like. So I want that effect, but that leaves me with, I'm going to go back to having very little fill light. So there's a couple other options. I'm going to throw this in. First is adding some spots, and I grouped these beforehand. And let me take the ceiling out for a sec. So what I did is I took these 3 lights, that one, and that one, the light spot entities, I grouped them, and I made 3 lights with really wide 85-degree outer facing. I think I might bring this up to 45 degrees. And these guys are 500, so they're burning quite warm. And these guys are going to basically provide the fill for these 2 dark corners that I'm worried about. And let's see how that works. Should I keep the generator light? Yeah. And this is combined with this light environment, which is supposed to be like a kind of like a gloomy sunlight. It's gray, but 1,000, like a gloomy overcast day. So let's see what this looks like. Alright, so here are these 3 linear spots. This one, and that one. They are throwing a nice fill. These are these dark corners. This overhead grading effect, I don't have it set up right. I know what I did wrong there. But, yeah, this method works really well. But let's try another method. Okay, first things first. I messed up with this. And I'm going to show you why. Show my light map grid. That projected texture was mainly hitting here. So I gotta select you, and you. Set your light map scale down to 4. That'll create nice shadows. Okay, so back to normal, whatever. Take the ceiling out for a second. Now I had these omnis there. Let's get rid of those. Instead, let's put these guys in. These guys are just Omni Lights, but they're set to constant value. That means they have no fall off. Everywhere they touch, they provide a light level, and light level I've set to be 25. So that's going to provide some fill here. Here, let's put this back in. Let's render this. And yeah, look at that, eh? Look at that shadow. God. See? That's what Looks like daytime slanting in. And this is a nice level of fill. I like that fill. I like these constant omnis. Yeah, they light the whole area up nicely. Yeah, so that brings us to the next subject, which is the floor. Working with the floor. It's a cool level so far. The only problem is the floor is bland. It's just one flat texture or material. So let's work on the floor.